And I got a wheel.
Well, y'all, my hair is disgusting. It has not been washed since Thursday. That's cute. Okay. Do I start that? No, we don't. Not until after check-in. Or pre-show.
Yeah, do you have any pre-show content today? I do.
Okay.
Recently, not for any particular reason, I've been watching several films that have women kissing in them. And I have a bone to pick with people. There's never a happy ending, ever. And it's really, really fucking upsetting. I watched Portrait of a Lady on Fire because I'd never seen it.
Oh, is that good?
It's very
I've heard good things about that.
The plot is exceptional. That was like my favorite part of the whole thing, and just like the dynamics of it all. And then they fall in love. And then she's like torn because she's like, I'm literally painting her for another person. But then they're like falling in love with each other. And the girl who's being painted is like, when you're observing me, who do you think I'm observing? And I was like,
Scandal.
die. And then I also watched the other night, what was it called? The World to Come, I think. Another period piece. I think the fact that all of these are happening back in the day when lesbians weren't allowed to be a thing, that's also kind of the reason why they don't have happy endings. But it was a lovely, lovely tale. Are you okay? You seem restless.
Well, no, because now when I had the light on, you were like almost fuzzy looking, and now without the light on, it's like kind of dark.
I think that's fine.
What, dark or light?
I think this is good.
Okay.
Yeah, that was another lovely tale. I believe it was set in early America, settler days. They fall in love with each other, and one of their husbands is abusive, and spoiler alert, she ends up passing away because her husband is a fuck.
Ew.
But Casey Affleck?
Yeah.
Wait, Affleck?
Like Ben Affleck.
Affleck,
Yeah. Casey
like
Affleck.
insurance.
No, that's Affleck.
Okay, well, that man. He produced it and starred in it, and I thought he was great. He played the husband who was not abusive to the other woman. It was great, a great movie overall, but I hate that the love story didn't work out. And then I watched Fear Street last night. It was great. I think we should do an episode about the Fear Street trilogy at some point. But again, no happy ending for the lesbians. I want justice for lesbians in movies. Let both of them live and let both of them have happily ever after. Period.
Gay people just never get to be happy in movies.
For real. Like, Love, Simon is the only one where it's like sort of happy. I guess Booksmart kind of. Booksmart kind of, but she fingers her in the butthole, and then she's going to Botswana. So, like, they're probably not going to end up together. Have you seen that movie?
I saw the first part of it and I stopped watching. I didn't like it. I was bored.
Michaela!
Yeah.
That's really upsetting to me.
I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm going to now mention what I watched last night. I watched The Force Awakens again because I was in a Star Wars mood, because I heard, or I watched this Kylo Ren edit on TikTok, and then I was like, I'm going to go back and rewatch the last trilogy. And Force Awakens is great. It's great. Last Jedi, great. Rise of Skywalker. Got a bone to pick with you, JJ. Anyways, I thoroughly enjoyed myself last night rewatching that. And that's what I watched lately. And Too Hot to Handle. Quality.
Yo.
Okay, are we ready to go?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Buckle up.
Because it's gonna be a long ride.
It's gonna be a wild ride.
No one cares, but we're gonna tell you anyways.
This is Popcorn Chats.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Popcorn Chats. I'm McKay.
And I'm Katie.
And we are back with another brand spanking new movie. 2 back-to-back now. Love that for us. And that is The Forever Purge. The movie that Katie and I did not even know existed until like a week ago. And then we were like, oh, they made another one.
Yeah, cute little matinee moment. Again, we're fresh off the watch. Again, this is not a drunk Disney episode, but Katie is drunk. And we're just going to leave it at that. No questions at this time. Thank you.
Check in?
Totally.
How are you?
I'm fine. Can you go?
Sure. I am fresh off of a bachelorette weekend. This is a Monday. I celebrated my future sister-in-law's bachelorette weekend. We stayed in the state, but we went about 2 hours away to another city, and it was a fun time. We got in really late on Friday night, and I don't know why I didn't think about, like, packing, like, I should take an outfit out for Friday night. I didn't. So I went out in my travel clothes, but it was also a vibe. It was like a vibe. I kind of did that. And we went out late. We stayed out till bar close, and it was fun. No bars there. Took cards, basically. So we were trying to finesse drinks where we could. And
that's fun.
And it is fun. We got told happy birthday a lot going around, and I was like, it says bridal party, but pop off. Yeah, it was fun. I somehow injured my thumb.
There's always some injury with this one.
I always somehow injure myself drinking. So I've injured my thumb. I can't really put any pressure on this hand, but it's fine. I will say.
Is it fine though? Because that is your right hand and you are right-handed.
Yeah, but like I can still move it. I have like full movability of it. So I think that's fine. But like if I push on it, like it doesn't
The girlies and I are going to start a petition to get you to go to the hospital. Or to go to the doctor at least. Michaela hasn't been to the doctor in 4 years. Everybody leave comments of support. Michaela needs to go to the doctor.
I don't like...
Oh! He on X Games mode.
He's like, I would like that White Claw. That smells good. So anyways, it was a weekend full of nonstop drinking, which is why today I am not drinking because I need a break. Yesterday I woke up. So we came home yesterday. I took a nap and I woke up and I still felt drunk. Sir, quiet on the set. I will say God worked a miracle on Friday night because I have very floppy ankles, let's just say. And I am 100% sure that I fractured my right ankle in college twice. And I never again went to the doctor. I have pictures of it. It's disgusting. It's purple and bruised and swollen. It's gross. Like I'm for sure I fractured it twice. And so I walked over like a dip in the between the like curb sidewalk and a parking lot. I stepped right into that gap, and I don't think my foot touched the ground. It just propelled me across the crack. Somehow I managed to make it out of the weekend with both ankles intact. I also did roll my ankle at one point, and it's fine, so.
It's God right there.
That's God.
That's God working.
Kids, enough. And we did a pedal trolley on Saturday. We were all hoping we could show up, and we're like, we'll let the motor kind of carry us because we were all hungover. Then as soon as we got on, they were like, there isn't a motor on this one, so you guys are really going to have to pedal. And the 5 of us are like, fuck.
That could not be me.
So it was us 5 and these 2 other couples, and these couples were both like middle-aged. They both had kids, and they were just kind of following the vibes. And they did buy us drinks on it, though. But we got off at one stop, and we went into this Irish pub that took card, because we were like, we need to find somewhere that took card. I shit you not, the bartender, I just got a single vodka lemonade. So like the glasses are like pretty short. They're like that. He filled up the vodka like almost all the way to the top. It was like vodka with a splash of lemonade, and that's how he made all of our drinks. So we were like stumbling back to this pedal trolley at the end. But you know what? It wasn't bad once we were drunker, because then you like didn't know that your legs were burning.
Yeah,
my thighs are sore.
Cardio.
Still. Yeah, but at the beginning it was hell. But
that's
after like the first
everybody
stop,
should work out.
Yeah.
I don't know why people just don't black out at the gym.
I don't know. And we took a cooler full of seltzers, so we were having those on the trolley and then getting off and getting shots and drinks in places. It was a fun time. It was just a great weekend.
And no one got sick.
No one threw up. No one blacked out.
It sounds so immaculate.
Yeah.
Vibes.
I woke up the next morning both days and I felt drunk, but I never felt hungover once the whole weekend.
Good.
Straight vibes.
I love that for you. I'm so glad that you had a good time.
It was fun. No anxiety. I had no anxiety all weekend.
Great. I think it's probably just because you were with like a good group of people.
Yeah, and I think part of it too is like I knew that it was like a vacation. So when we were like out at the bar, I knew like there was nothing waiting for us back at the apartment, where like when I go out here, like I'm always thinking like, oh, I have to go home. Mm-hmm. Where it was like, this is a vacation, like there's no reason to go back home to the Airbnb kind of. So it was just immaculate vibes. Anyways, good. So I'm doing good today. I'm in a good mood. Great. What about you, Katie?
Yeah, I would just say tumultuous again. I think good sometimes, and other times I'm like wanting to be unalive.
I did win the card in our game for Darkest Sense of Humor, and I was like, that's on Katie and me.
I think it's we fuel it.
We do.
We fuel each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's all a joke, everybody.
Yeah.
We don't need help. I mean, you probably do, but I have also kind of returned to who I was pre-pandemic going out wise, you know? Like, I was like, how am I ever just gonna like be out and be social again?
Yeah.
Back during the pandemic. And now it's like it never even happened for me when I go out.
Yeah.
And when I start drinking, just because I'm the same old me. I found her again, and that bitch is stupid as fuck.
Oh, no.
Stupid ass bitch that needs to be detained. I'm so sorry, but she's on X Games mode and not in a good way. I'm running around. So I went out for drinks. I was telling you. I was supposed to just meet some friends. After I closed the store, went to go get a little drink at the local watering hole. But, yep, went there to get a couple after work beveraginos. Nope. Next thing I know, downtown Madison, we found my friend's stolen car going down East Washington. So we were on hot pursuit trying to get that. That's a whole other crazy ass story. But that's basically the reason why I got taken against my will downtown Madison. Because we saw my friend's stolen car, so we started following it, and it just happened to be going downtown. So then we were like, oh, we're here. Might as well party.
Might as well pop and have a few more beveraginos.
Yeah, and then I had to work the next day, and it was just not a vibe. But I don't know. I don't really know if there's anything else to catch up on. I'm going to Los Angeles next week.
Yeah.
That feels so crazy to say, because I can't wait. I'm so excited to just be there.
That's going to be so fun.
So much fun. My cousin's boyfriend teaches yoga, so I'm gonna go and take some classes. I'm gonna go hiking. I'm gonna go out. I'm staying on Hollywood Boulevard, so I'm probably just gonna vibe. Yeah, I would just say turbulent. I'm never one way. I'm just very up and down roller coaster.
Yeah.
But when I feel good, I just try to like let it ride.
Yeah. Cute.
Thanks. I think we're both doing
good.
Michaela and I, did we talk about when we went out on the pod?
I don't think so.
Well, we went out. Michaela had horrible heartburn.
Like the worst it's ever felt.
She thought she was going to die. I had to go to Taco Bell Cantina, and I pull up there a little intoxicated, and I say to the man, I'm like, I need 5 plain tortillas and a chips and cheese. And he gave me that for $2. And I was like, really? That's really cheap. He's like, you seem like you needed a discount.
It's like my friend is going to die.
I was like, sir, my friend is in crisis.
Yeah.
And I need 5 tortillas.
Yeah.
Did that help you at all?
No. It didn't. I don't know what it was that night. And again, I didn't get that at all this weekend.
Yeah.
But I drank way more this weekend than I did that night. Like, even that Friday night, which I wonder if it's because we stuck to, like, all shots? Or, like, all the same, like, kind of liquor.
Yeah.
Where on that night I had wine to start. I don't know. It was the worst heartburn I've ever had in my entire life. I thought I was going to die.
It's just been crazy and getting back to normal here. And period. So let's get into the purge. The forever purge.
The forever purge. So I will say, I think marketing for this one, non-existent.
No.
I saw one ad on YouTube, and that was it. And that's how I found out about it. And then I texted you, and I was like, did you know that there's another Purge movie?
Yeah, and I didn't know until you texted me that. And then last night I saw a teaser for it. Not even a full trailer, just a teaser with that guy with the scary mask and the horns coming out, just walking on a horse, and I was like, okay, I got nothing from that. We both went into this
like having no clue what it was.
Yeah,
I didn't have
very
any idea what it was
blind
about.
watch, no expectations.
I didn't like look up reviews,
No.
Wikipedia summary, like nothing. I didn't know anything.
No, I didn't even put together that like the forever purge, like what that meant.
That it was like forever and ever.
Like they're gonna just keep going after the night. When the movie got to that point where it was like, oh, it's over, I was like, oh, forever purge.
Yeah.
They're forever purging.
Yes.
They're gonna keep going.
Which is an interesting concept
Yeah.
because it's kind of like,
What's stopping you? I remember in election year at the very end when the people are closing in on our like badass fighting dude. Or is that an Anarchy? When they're going in on that badass fighting dude who's on the ground and then like the mom and daughter come around the corner and they have guns trained at each other. And then the sirens go off and they're like, oh shit, well, we can't stop. Like we have to stop.
Right.
But really what is stopping them? Because it's not like all of a sudden then a cop is like there in that moment being like, hey, you fired that round after the siren.
I think that was 2.
It was 2, yeah.
Because he went to that guy's house.
But really, like,
yeah, that's a really
we
good
were wondering
point.
that. We're like, how do they not know that then all of a sudden, like, one of those guys could easily fired off those 3 shots really quick and been like, oh, fuck, sorry. Like, the horn started right after. So I did think it was interesting. Because there's really nothing stopping people.
No, it was a very, very interesting concept.
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of, like, the new founding fathers creating this purge. And then that is what ends up destroying them and, like, destroying the country that they claim to love so much.
Yeah.
It's very reflective of certain...
And that the forever purgers were then, like, fighting back and killing the government officials trying to stop them.
I heard them be like, kill those pigs.
Yeah.
And, like, I remember when the Capitol insurrection happened. I think this movie is definitely making commentary on that situation, which we can maybe get into, maybe not, I don't know.
Which this had to have been filmed before that.
I don't know.
I'm going to look that up while you make your point.
Okay. I just remember during that whole incident, I remember seeing videos and hearing the insurrectionists be like traitors, like, beating up the Capitol police or like, and calling them traitors and stuff. And I'm pretty sure in this, they were like, kill that pig or something when the National Guard showed up. So it's just like.
Which I just feel like is ironic because it's like, you claim to love them so much and like that you're fighting for them.
Yeah.
And you're trying to like restore everything that they stand for and then you're going to turn around and kill them.
Yeah. And people just have so much hate that they become like delusional.
So this was actually supposed to be released in July of 2020. So how fucking ironic that this was filmed years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. So it was probably filmed in then like 2019, pre-pandemic.
Wow.
Can you imagine the creators of this sitting back and watching the Capitol insurrection on TV and just being like,
wow,
this is our movie happening?
Yeah.
Production began in 2018. Or, sorry, May 2019, but in 2018 is when they said that they would make another. And so they started making it in 2019.
Wow. That's really interesting.
That's like some Simpsons stuff.
Yeah. Well, Michaela and I were talking on the drive home that, like, America has changed so much since the first one. Because when did that come out? 2013?
Let's see. 2013.
It's just really quite insane.
Mm-hmm.
And to be sitting on this scenario in this series and this world, there's so many opportunities and so many different ways you can take it. I hope they never stop making them.
That was going to be one of my questions for you, is because we talk a lot on the podcast about movies that get sequels and we're like, why was that a sequel?
Right.
It wasn't necessary, or they start to go downhill. And I wanted to ask your thoughts on that one because now this one is its 5th installment.
Mm-hmm.
And like, what do you think about them making another? Like, was this one like necessary?
I think, yeah, and I think they always will be necessary because it's meant to show like the underbelly of America, and I think that's the purpose of the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And that one compared to the ones that have come after it, staunchly different.
Mm-hmm.
That one was first just making commentary a little bit on privilege, but really just being like, oh, what if crime was legal for 24 hours? And the way that it's gone off since then and the commentary that it's made on like real life stuff that America has kind of divulged into, it's only going to get more palpable and like more, I mean, I hate to be like pessimistic, but as America changes and like continues, I think we're kind of at like a crux, like a breaking point a little bit. And they said that in this movie that like we're at a weird point where like things just seem to be boiling over. And these movies are like very fun and entertaining, but they're also very like
scary.
Resonant.
Yeah. Well, because as I'm watching this, I'm like, is this our future? And like, I don't even feel like that's a dramatic statement to say.
Right.
It's scary to watch. And as I was sitting there thinking like, after this one, or even before we went into this one, I'm like, is there another one necessary? You know, like, do you need to keep going?
Yeah.
But I think the thing that why it works is because each movie doesn't feel stretched at all. It's a completely new concept, a completely new look at the Purge, new characters.
Freshness.
Yeah. So like we start in the house, and as Katie said, with like the basic question of like what if crime was legal in the first one, and we kind of touch the iceberg and privilege. Then anarchy, we're out in the streets, we're seeing like the actual purge happening in the real world and not just behind this house lens, and we're getting like a look at privilege in this country. And then in the third one, it's even further expanded on that into the politics of it and like how this became institutionalized and like the party system being the root of this, and again looking at privilege. And then the fourth one went back, the fourth one I haven't seen, but that one is a look back at how it was actually created, which was necessary. Like that's an interesting thing of like how did this even get started. And then this one is the direct sequel to Election Year, because at the end of Election Year, even though Juliet from Lost, I don't remember what her name was, but she became president and she was abolishing the purge, right at the end it was like there are riots popping up everywhere in support of the purge and whatever. And as we know in this one, then they have retaken over again.
Yeah, the new Founding Fathers party has been voted back into power, which
is scary to think about.
That's another thing that's like very resonant with our time, like now that Biden has been elected and everything, and we have ended this like very hateful administration and this very like hard period in American history. I think a lot of people are like, oh, thank God, okay, that's over. But like, there is so much hate still and such a long way to go. And like, the inaction of this administration that we have right now is only, I don't want to like get too deep into stuff. Like, I want to keep this lighthearted, but it is very resonant. There is the possibility for like the Trump administration or just like very alt-right groups to get back into power. It's not like we have resolved this situation and like, it's all happy ending. Literally today when we were walking in to the movie theater, did you see that guy with the Thin Blue Line t-shirt?
No. And I think the scary thing is because even though we can say like, oh, look at now, like we have the Trump administration out of office, but there's still like so much hate. And then the longer like the people feel repressed and being able to express their hatred, like the worse it festers. And it is just like scary. And as we were watching this movie, and I agree, I want to keep this like lighthearted and fun. Like I don't want to make so many parallels, but I think you can't not watch this movie and not notice the parallels between this and kind of like our time right now.
Yeah, but what I appreciate about it is like it's not too heavy-handed.
No. It was subtle. It was like in the Confederate flag on the gun. Yep. At the end. It was very subtle.
It was a lot for a Monday afternoon. I think I had a note about that. I was like, this is just a lot. There were certain moments where I was like, I just need to like disassociate because I'm just feeling everything. But back to the like different ways that you can take this world.
There's still more to explore.
There really is. And even just like character driven stuff too. Like a pregnant woman on the night of the purge. Like, love that.
Yeah. And then for her to be like, I'm scared for my child to be born into this.
Yes.
And I was like,
that's a real world fear.
Is.
Like me right now with people being like, by 2050, the world as we know it will not be a thing.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it's scary.
I'm literally not having children then because that's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like a death sentence for somebody. Like we're probably not even going to be able to live out our full lives.
No.
The way things are going.
Hello, darkness, children. What I would really like to see if they did another one would to be, I want to see what the children are up to from the first movie. I'd love to see what the mother and daughter and the security guard are up to from the second and the third movie. I'd love to see what happened to Juliet after she got voted out of office. Like, I think if they wanted to do one final movie and brought back some of these key players, I think that would, and then bring back like Adela and Juan.
Yes, bring them all together.
I think that would be really cool.
That would be great.
For like one final purge.
Final one.
Because it's not, these movies are not a character-driven story, or like the characters are not the heart of the story. Like, and I think maybe that's why it seems fresh each time, is because it's new faces and new people to know.
And new dynamics.
Yeah. But I would love to see them all together in one.
You know, I think like the plot, obviously, of The Purge, the world, is very strong.
Yes, it carries itself. It doesn't need characters.
I feel like the characters are the heart.
They are the heart, yes.
The scenario is so strong, like you almost have to just, with each new recreation of these films or each like sequel, it's really what characters are we going to throw into this world. And with this one, it's like a prejudiced white man.
Mm-hmm.
And dealing with the concept of immigration.
Mm-hmm. Like how Juan and Adela came to America for like peace and to find their like happy place and then their refuge. And then Mexico ended up being their refuge.
Yeah, for, I don't even know
his name was. Should I look it up quick?
His wife called him baby the entire film. Southern cowboy man.
His name was Dylan.
Okay, Dylan, I think.
Dylan, Harper, and Emma. Emma's the wife. Emma's the wife.
The wife.
Emma's the wife, Harper's the sister, Dylan's the husband.
Okay, yeah, so Dylan, I think, having his opinions that are very toxic and questionable and problematic, of being like, well, we should all just be separate.
Yeah.
I'm no better than you, but you're still racist, period. Yeah. We just all need to stay with our own kind, and this sentiment that's very popular, again, relating it back to, like, real stuff, but people are just always like, well, they shouldn't have done that. They broke the law. Like, now they're separated from their children, and like these children being detained and like on the border and stuff, and the sentiment of some people, rich, privileged white people being like, well, they shouldn't have done that. It's like, you would literally do the exact same thing.
It showed them doing the exact same thing.
They're like, we have to go to Mexico.
Yeah.
Like, there's literally no other option. And it's like, yeah, no shit. And I really appreciate the way this film didn't like apologize for Dylan and his beliefs, but it really just kind of showed his transformation and the way he was like speaking Spanish to them
by the end,
and just really like thanking them, and the fact that he like stayed with them to fight against the white supremacists that were like following them up the hill. He wasn't fully redeemed in my eyes by any means, and I don't think the film was trying to do that.
No.
I appreciated the fact that like he knows now. Like, he understands a little bit the situation, and he understands them more.
And hopefully it was a wake-up call
for
him. And look at how handy then they came in to be, because they would have never been safe otherwise, because Adela was like the only reason that they were let into that one refuge. Because they were like, who's this lady? And she was like, she's with me. And then they were like, okay.
Yeah, and again, that's like privilege, because there were those moments where they were like, kill these Mexican people and you guys will be free. And they were like, fuck you. That was a good moment.
Yeah. Okay. She's like, Daddy, what do you think? I'm like,
yeah, why were they calling each other that?
Yeah, and then he was calling her mother, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's your wife. I'm disturbed. Y'all are just a whole other breed.
Did you see this is so far off the point, but did you see, I was about to send you this TikTok that was like, anyone can be a father, but it takes a special man to be a daddy. And it was this
Charlie Swan one. I did.
He's the ultimate dad.
He is. Charlie Swan could do no wrong.
He really can. Stand on star.
He's the only cop. The only one.
The only exception.
The only one. The only exception. Yeah, you're right. I think that was a great moment. And then seeing too that like in that time, because that's when I was kind of waiting for Dylan to turn, because I thought he might turn to Harper and be like, are you really willing to like sacrifice yourself for them? I thought he might try to like negotiate with her a bit. But then when he was like, fuck you, I was like,
okay,
Dylan.
Dylan.
Okay, Dylan. Okay. You know, I'm still vibing. I'm not still vibing. I'm like starting to vibe with you a little more. You're still not excused.
I just really, really liked the group dynamic in this film.
I did too.
It was very strong. I think that's another, like, strength of these films, starting with the second.
They really make good squads.
With the first one, like, with them taking in that man into their home. Then it's like this new group dynamic of like there's contention, you know, we're supposed to be keeping you out, but like now we have to work together, and he saves them and stuff, and like that's really interesting. And then with the second one, this man wants to go kill somebody, but then he's like torn and he's trying to keep these other people safe.
Yeah. And then that couple comes in.
Floppy.
The flops.
Floppy and Shane.
I was like, what was his name? You're so right, Shane. And then the third one, Juliet and her bodyguard.
Do-gooder politician lady who's like, thou shalt not kill, but then the bodyguard is like, gra-ta-ta.
I love that bodyguard.
I was really shipping Harper and TT, and I was really fucking upset when TT passed away.
Yeah. I felt like at some point, you know, someone needed to die, kind of like in the other movies where at some point, like the dad dies and then Shane dies, you know, someone had to go.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be.
I was thinking it was going to be Dylan, to be honest. I thought Dylan was going to take a bullet for Juan or something, and that would have been very satisfying for me.
I was thinking it was going to be Harper.
That would have hurt.
Because I'm like, they're not going to kill the pregnant lady. So I'm like, she's making it.
I was thinking though at the beginning, I was like, this could go one of two ways. It's gonna be like the pregnant woman is their reason really for like banding together and getting her out, or she's gonna die very early on. Like they're gonna stab her stomach like fucking Game of Thrones, Red Wedding.
Oh yeah, and then that would be like their event. Then Dylan
catalyst.
is like, I gotta fucking go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I'm glad that it didn't go that way.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Me too. And like you said, Katie turned to me and she was like, "This lady's going into labor during the purge," and I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Like,
I thought it was going to be different. I thought they were going to be like in the street giving birth.
Well, and I thought when they had all those shots of the semi-truck, there was a shot of her and she's like, ah! And she kind of like went to the side like that. And then she like reached her hand up a couple of minutes later and was like, stay safe or something. I turned to Katie and I'm like, did she get shot? I thought for sure she was going to be dead in that moment. And then they were going to be like, we all need to go. And they're going to be like, where's pregnant lady? And she's like on the bus bleeding out. But no.
Yeah, no, she just was in labor.
Yeah. Yikes.
I feel like we're all over the place, but who cares?
I feel like it's flowing though.
It's flowing.
We're moving from one point to another well.
I want to bring up the boomer.
The boomer. Oh,
the dad.
Caleb.
Is that his name?
Yes.
I'm so heartbroken over that man's death too.
Yeah.
Let me find my
I think, like, out of the people, I mean, like, granted then that Dylan got to kind of have his, like, moment to learn, but, like, Caleb, he shouldn't have been the one to die.
I was really sad. I would have liked to see him continue on.
Yeah.
But I guess he also, like, served his purpose. I don't know.
He did.
My note was, love this boomer, but I'm skeptical. Because you can't not be skeptical.
Yeah.
They're always saying some undercover shit on the side. And it's like, oh, you're so wholesome, but you're also racist. What he said about you're just being a puppet now to the politicians, I was like, so true.
He was.
And also, like, I'm just very confused how Dylan turned out to be a racist. And he's like, I thought I was teaching him how to be a proud American, but I, like, fucked up.
And he was like, I don't even know what that means or something anymore. And I was like, that's kind of true. Yeah. And like, I think even with how Katie and I were talking about the 4th of July and like, that's a whole different thing. But how we were kind of like, what? Like, yeah, I don't know.
But if you're going to be like, I'm a true patriot, I automatically assume you're racist.
When they were going through on those trucks, first of all, were they gassing people in those? I'm pretty sure they were.
Really?
I think.
Wait, when Adela was on the
roof, were they gassing those people
inside?
And because then they were saying like the purification has come around and stuff. I was pretty sure they were gassing them in there. I don't know for sure. I just thought that it kind of looked like that.
Okay.
But and then when they're like, we're reestablishing the real American values for like full-blooded Americans, and I was like, unless if you are a Native American, you are an immigrant here. Mm-hmm. Like Katie and I are not directly immigrants here because we were both born here, but our ancestors immigrated here. So unless if you are a Native American, you technically are not like full true-blooded to this land. That's just a fact. And I don't know how they seem to always forget that.
It's really just hard to like wrap your head around it. And I also feel like we are so like uneducated and so like far removed from everything, and we just really don't know like the full depth of everything. But like watching this, I felt so uncomfortable so many times. Like my teeth were like, I was just like gritting my teeth because that fucking guy with the swastika tattooed on his face.
Oh my god.
In the thing.
Yeah.
And just like, yeah, like the things that people were saying, like purify this land and we're gonna restore it.
It really did. You cringed in your
cringy.
seat.
It's like so uncomfortable, but I was trying to just like sit in that uncomfortability and just like, those were moments where I was like not letting myself disassociate from what was going on, because it's like, this is our responsibility. We have to combat these people, which is so daunting and so...
Because they're loud.
They're loud, and they're also just like so wrapped up in their delusion where it's like, how do we rein these people in and get them, because they're literally like shooting at cops and stuff, and like with the whole insurrection situation, like they're fighting it. They are delusional. It's hard to like, but it is.
And you can't rationalize with them then. It's like...
No, and it's a very daunting and scary and uncomfortable thing to confront as a white person, but it's like, it's on us. Like, this is our thing that we have to fix.
The man in the truck looked like he had rabies.
He did,
like,
but I
really
liked
rabid.
that moment.
Yes.
Another thing with this franchise is like, little scenarios like that where they're all like jailed in the back of that truck and then they get in a crash and then it's like, oh shit, this Nazi's just on the loose.
Yeah.
And who was that high bitch? I was like, that would be me. If the Purge was real, I would just...
It looked like she was about to like climax in her seat. She was like, the Purge.
Wait, really?
Did you not notice
I
the
don't
way
know.
she was talking and like the way she was like moving? I was like, are you, ma'am? Are you okay?
Are you aroused? No, was she just like on
Her
a
and
bunch
the
of drugs?
Nazi? I don't know.
I feel like the Purge, if it were a real thing, honestly, this is probably so incorrect, but I don't think it would be like this.
What do you think it would be?
Stealing.
Stealing, yeah. I think that's what like we immediately go to because I think we're not crazy people.
I mean, I would stay
But-
inside, but like...
I think the answer might have been different 5 years ago.
Oh, for sure.
But I think now I could see the far right using it as a chance to like start an actual war.
Yeah.
But I know my mind immediately goes to like stealing,
Yeah.
you know, or like the banks,
Yeah. Or just like
Amazon
drinking on the
warehouses,
street.
warehouses, drinking on the street.
It's like open
No.
containers.
This is my charge. If the Purge was real, we dress up, get all bougie, sunnies, hats, everything. We're making it work. We're making it look. We get boom boxes. We start blasting Jeffrey Bezos, and we go after the Amazon warehouses and just take what we need.
Take what we need.
CEO, entrepreneur, born in 1964, Jeffrey Bezos.
I was gonna say, I had a note in here. What would you do? What if you had to purge? Like if you had to participate?
like if I
Because
couldn't stay in my
right.
yeah.
Obviously, we would stand, but if you had to participate, and I was thinking, I think I would join a group that was going to kill Jeffrey Bezos.
You'd have to be really sure that you could trust those people. I think I'd want to like either go it alone or literally only a group of people that I know and trust 1000%. Like you or family, you know, because otherwise if there's like the smallest beef that you have with someone, what's to stop them?
True.
Nothing. So I don't
Spooky. Yeah, I really don't know what I would do.
actually, but here, instead of maybe kill Jeff, what if we went after him, we kidnapped him and made him transfer all of his money into our bank accounts?
Yeah.
And then we disperse it to
Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
Kitties, we're upgrading the apartment.
Because
Because like I wouldn't want to kill him without getting like funds.
I don't think I would kill anybody.
I
that seems
couldn't
really
kill.
dramatic.
Watch, Jeff is gonna sue. We're gonna get a letter because of this episode. Jeff, this isn't a threat.
No.
I'm just saying that you have a lot of money and hypothetically
Definitely distribute it. to
distribute
others.
it a little more. And I heard you're going to space. So what are you doing with that in space?
Let's just read through my notes. Immigration. Gross white people being served by immigrants. Racist. Why do people just chill the day of the Purge? That is my main question. Like, why are you waiting till the last hour to go somewhere safe?
I don't get that. And they're like, hopefully you're not stuck in traffic. I would not leave my house that whole day
No.
for the fear of like somehow getting stuck outside.
I'm going somewhere safe a week prior.
Yeah. I'm probably planning a trip to Canada for the week.
But then again, like, only the privileged
can do that. Yeah.
Because you have to keep working. Yeah.
And then everyone just goes to work the next day. Like when they're walking by the bloodstains and
They
stuff.
answered our question though, remember? Because
Yeah.
in our other Purge episode, we
We
were like,
did
what is
ask.
the sanitation like?
Mhm.
And you're just driving to work the next day, dead body, fucking wolf. Or
Mhm.
what was that, a dog? Eating a woman. They're just like, poor Chica. Can you imagine?
Can you imagine the smell
And
too
they
of
were
like
so
everyone?
right about how the next day should be a holiday.
Yeah.
Paid holiday.
Yeah, paid holiday.
I'm staying home. I'm not trying to see a body on my way to
No.
work. I'm still a normal person.
No.
Just because there's a day where everybody can kill each other,
Doesn't mean
I'm
that
still
I
gonna
wanna
be traumatized if I see a fucking corpse
Yeah.
on my way to work.
And the blood like draining on the street.
I can't do that.
That's
Just
a
the
no.
whole chaos of the sanitation committee, and then there's people still killing, and then these poor first responders
Mhm.
are like, the fuck?
My question is, the sanitation committee, what do they do the other 364 days?
Good question. I don't know. I'm sure there's like
And then what do they do with all the bodies? Is it like a mass burial? Mass grave?
Yeah.
Chop them up?
No.
Disperse them?
No.
Well, a lot
I'm
of people
sure-
probably aren't getting claimed.
Yeah, also there's probably like so many funerals and stuff right after that. This is not, let's just not do this.
Yeah,
As a society,
let's
please.
move on.
Also, the Purge protection bonus the day of the Purge. I'm like,
You should have done that a lot farther in advance, Caleb.
yeah, what am I gonna do? Invest in a fucking door that falls down? The guy that had the eye makeup did kind of have a point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks. Now you probably feel good about yourself, but like, what am I gonna do with this money hours before the Purge?
See, and I get that. He should have given it to them earlier. And I do think that, like, in Caleb's mind, he was, like, being a nice boy. He was, like, being a good guy. Like, I don't doubt that he gave them that money with, like, bad intentions.
Oh, yeah.
I just think that, like, it's perceived wrong on the other side, you know? Or not wrong,
well,
because it's not, like, right or wrong, but I just think he perceives it differently than how Caleb sees it.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
He definitely had good intentions, but
Yeah.
I think they're in this house where they have like steel walls that come down and like they're perfectly protected, and then it's like, okay, I'm gonna slide these people $100 to do what?
I don't know, that looked like a thick envelope.
On the day of the Purge.
Yeah.
No matter what though, it's not like you can get that installed in your house.
The day of, no.
Purge protection bonus.
I-
So what are they gonna do? Buy guns? Like,
Yeah. I was interested by the place that Adela and Juan went when they got there. I was like, this is interesting. Because obviously for lower income families, it's like they can't afford those steel doors to like protect themselves. So that was interesting. And then how the military guy up on the roof when Adela was talking to him, he was like, it's good for you guys and it's good money for us.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a business model
I'm
there.
Sure
of being like
stuff like that would actually happen.
like buy your Purge protection night spot.
Yeah.
And you can come to this warehouse. We'll arm it. We'll guard it. You just have to pay us money.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty genius business idea for this.
Yeah.
You could make a lot. You could charge people a lot of money, which again is then like unfairly targeting the poor.
Right.
But again, it just plays into this larger commentary that they're making about like class systems in America. I liked the dude on the roof.
I did too. Here's the vibes.
I did like that they were showing Adela so often like trying to learn English, like carrying around the English book and then listening on her headphones. Because I think, like, you know how then the dude at the end was like, say it in English. And then Juan was like, does this translate? And shot him in the head. I'm like, yes. Because people are like, if you're in America, it's not uncommon to like that the phrase has been heard. Like if you're in America, speak English. We don't have an official language, first of all. You don't really find then a lot of like English speakers working that hard to learn another language in order to communicate. There are a lot more people that are bilingual that are from other cultures than like white Americans.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like it takes a lot to learn another language, and the majority of people who immigrate here know multiple languages, like English and Spanish, or English and their native language. And like if you've ever had to like attempt to learn another language, you know how difficult that is. So then to be like, well, you should just like speak better, like fuck off, bro.
And it was just interesting to show it's like she's working hard at it, but obviously like it doesn't show up overnight. Like English is a hard language to learn too. It's like a stupid language. So
it really
it's just like she's making an effort, but like other people don't. Like people who have lived here don't make an effort.
Right. Is there a Purge ride at Universal, the theme park?
No, but I want to say when they do their Halloween horror nights, I thought that they've done like a themed Purge one before.
They need a Purge ride where you're just like on the thing like driving through, because I love how there's one of those scenes in every movie since the second one of like them just driving through Purge night and like just all the creepiness. I love that. I'm a sucker for those scenes, and I love how they fit them into every fucking Purge movie.
Yes.
Because they're so cool.
Do you remember that one lady that's like yelling? Is it in the second one off of that bridge? Like that big lady just yelling. I don't even know.
I just think everybody's so creepy, and I would just love a ride like that where they're like...
And could you imagine then you get to the third movie one and it's like the founding father masks with like the light up neon lights. Like that, I think that promo is some of the best.
Yeah.
Because that was really cool. And those were like iconic Halloween costumes that year after.
Mm-hmm.
And Purge are still, like that's a costume that you see almost every year still.
Yeah, and I just really like the chills I get when the Purge announcement starts.
Yes. Those horns are iconic.
They really are.
That triggers my flight or fight response. I will say the one guy's mask that killed the shot Caleb, his whole look was kind of cool. like his eye
Yes.
makeup and then that mask. Like he was really creepy, but like that was some good costuming. I thought that and then the one dude with the like big bull horns and the mask.
Yeah, the costuming in this was interesting.
They bring it every year with it.
Yeah, I like how we're kind of in a different part of the country now, like the
Yeah.
American Southwest.
Yeah.
Also, what do you do if you're in the middle of America and they're like, get to a border?
That's what I was thinking, because I was like, what if you live in like Colorado?
You're just like, all right, cool, got 6 hours, 10 hours away.
Because I was thinking, how far is the Canadian border from here? Like, that's gotta
Like
be
7
like,
hours.
yeah, we wouldn't even make it.
No. I don't know what I would do in this situation, honestly, if it was like, oh, it's still going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anybody wants to kill me.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I would think it would more be like just random angry people who just want to kill to kill.
Yeah, and you would like run out of food eventually and you would have to go out.
Mm-hmm. The kitties were stocked up on canned food though. We start eating the cat's food. Oh.
Gross.
That would be my only one and only thought is like, where can I protect my cats? When they were bringing out dogs at the beginning, I was like, we better not see a dog fight or something.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like there should be any animal violence ever on anything. I just don't want to see it. And same with the horses. I was like, I didn't know about Dylan at first, and I was like, is all of a sudden he gonna be pissed at this horse for listening to him and just like shoot the horse?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was kind of prepared for that.
Yeah, I'm glad there weren't any animal deaths in this.
And the goat got away.
Yep,
That was
goat
great.
didn't get away. Michaela turned to me, she was like, if this goat dies, we're leaving.
I can't handle it.
That was a very strange booby trap.
That was.
It's like, oh, save the goat and then get trapped.
And at first I was like, what kind of like Christian Grey shit is this? It's like flipping her up on a cage.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
They're trying to trap a very specific type of person. Like,
yeah.
you really want to trap a person who's like kind-hearted and wants to save an animal.
Yeah. Because that would be me.
You're fucked up for that.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, I want to trap somebody who wants to set this goat free.
Yeah.
The fuck, man? Like, really? You don't have anything better to do? You're dressed as a bunny.
Yeah. When they came out, I was like, are you for fucking real?
I know. I was like...
And then when the cops showed up, I mean, I didn't expect anything less of, like, them. But when they showed up and then they're like, the purge is over, what are you doing? I'm like, so you're gonna look at these two regular-ass people who are dressed for the work day and think that they are the purgers and not the two people dressed up as bloody bunnies?
I feel like there's some sort of symbolism that we're missing on
Like,
there.
put a single thought into your brain.
Oh.
I will say, where'd the boss go?
Yep. Good point. I was about to turn to you in the theater and be like, he's gonna come back right at the right moment. And I was waiting for it.
I was waiting for him to like pop up at like either that shelter that they went to, or like when they were getting ready to cross the border, that maybe he was like there and helping people get over somehow.
Yeah, or the moment before TT passed away.
Yes, that like he
like,
would
they
pop
need
back
him
up
right now.
So yeah,
Darius.
I thought it was interesting that there was just no circle back on him whatsoever.
It really seemed like they were setting it up for that. I think the women in this are queens.
Yeah.
Adela, love. Badass bitch.
Badass.
She's a bad bitch, all jokes aside.
Yes. She looked great the whole movie.
She really
I'm like,
did.
honey, you've been through it and you still look fantastic.
You're helping this pregnant woman
Yes.
trek through the wilderness.
And Harper too. When her and
Harper.
TT had that little moment with the jelly and peanut butter.
Oh!
Cute.
Stop it.
And how she was like, I'm gonna go with them. And Dylan was like, you don't have to. And she was like,
She's like,
I'm going.
they saved our lives.
Yeah.
Like,
We're
dick.
going.
We're going. Yeah.
What is Harper from though? Did she not look familiar to you?
Yeah, she did.
She's in something and it bothered me that whole movie. Oh, she is in Hunger Games. She's Kato and
yeah.
Clove. She's Clove in that.
Yeah, she gets stung.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I hated that.
And she was in Two Night Stand with Miles Teller. Oh, she was in Grey's Anatomy. What was she in Grey's Anatomy?
Probably a patient.
Probably.
Another moment, small moment that I really appreciated was like the reality of the situation sinking in when it was like, oh, the purge is continuing and the water tower falling, when it was like that zoom out
Yeah.
and the music just being like, oh,
Yeah.
I really liked that moment. Everything's on fire, the water tower falls, and it's like, damn, forever purge.
Yeah. Dylan said something to Ma and Papa or whatever the fuck, and was like, you're gonna burn our cities down, or like someone said something like, or like was it like talking about immigrants? I mean, like they're gonna burn our cities down, and then they are the ones.
I think it was that guy on TV that was like, you'll burn our cities, you'll burn your cities to the ground or something.
And they did.
Yeah,
they did exactly that.
I like how that guy on TV then eventually like came around, kind of like how in the second one. Remember the girls like watching that resistance guy and then he comes in to save them at the end. I kind of knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
With that man, but
also I loved in that scene when they were fighting with bow and arrows.
Katniss moment.
Well, I've always been very like interested in Native American culture, and like I remember reading this one book when I was younger, and it was like this history book talking about this one Native American warrior and how he could fire an insane amount of arrows before the first one even hit its target. That he could get off like 8 or 9 arrows before the first one ever hit. And, like, that they are so skilled with bows and arrows. Or, like, because that was, like, their weapons. And so I really liked seeing them use them in that fight. And you saw how they boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
Took them right out.
Yeah, that was neat.
It was, like, a cool other dynamic when you're just used to seeing machine guns this whole time.
Yeah, and that stupid Nazi that was, like, talking about all the different guns. I was like...
Yeah, but he's like... AR-15. I'm like,
why are you so obsessed with guns?
Sir,
there are certain people that it's like, why are you so obsessed with that?
Yeah.
Gross.
Yikes.
Somebody said bad hombres at some point, and I was like, get the fuck out.
Yeah, I think they said that when they rounded them up.
Yeah.
In the alley.
Didn't like that.
And they called them some very disgusting things that we won't repeat, but it just showed how disgusting they were.
But that was definitely a callback to the Trump administration. 500. Why do I have country boy? I love you. Pendejo. Yeehaw.
Now, what was that supposed to be? I don't know who you were referencing with that.
I think that might have been the moment where they like kill that guy at the end. The racist Papa.
That was really great. That was satisfying.
He's like,
does this translate?
Pendejo. Yeah.
Pew, pew.
And I really did like the baby moment at the end. That was very sweet.
Yeah, and then how he thanked them in Spanish. Yeah. It's like, again, bare minimum.
Bare minimum.
But
it was
a nice moment still. And I like that their group stayed together.
Yeah.
Also, the semi-truck was kind of a move for getting through. It was kind of cool to see them. I'm like, that's a pretty practical vehicle in this situation.
I also thought the school bus that they had wrapped in barbed wire to get all the people to the safe place was a very good idea, too.
Mm-hmm. I still think that if they ever wanted to branch off and do a comedy with the Purge, that they could still do something where someone, like, accidentally kills someone a couple days before the Purge, but they're like, let's like try to make it look like they're still alive until the Purge. Like, you could make that kind of funny. Yeah, you could make that kind of funny. Yeah.
When I first heard about the Purge movies, I was like, it's a comedy, right? Of just people like being fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh no, it's a scary movie.
Because again, I think like we go with like no rules. You think of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or it's like raiding a liquor store or something, you know?
Yeah.
Note to all purgers, don't announce yourself when you're trying to sneak up on someone.
Yeah.
So many of them, forever purge!
Yeah.
And then they got shot. Because I'm like, you don't say that until after you've already hit your target. Because then you're just giving yourself away.
But again, the delusion.
Again, yeah. I'm like, I'm not expecting you to be that smart.
They're not in the right mind.
But just saying, that might help you out next time. Don't just yell forever purge. And how smart of Harper holding up that flag.
Yes. We love a resourceful bitch.
And then they're like, they're one of us. Vroom, vroom. I'm like, oh my God. Y'all are so stupid. I really liked this one.
Yeah, it was good.
I still think Anarchy is my all-time fave. Just because I think that one is like, it's nostalgic, but also just the building off of that one, off of the first one. And I love the converging storylines. I don't know. But
wait,
this
is
one
that the second one?
Anarchy, yeah.
Anarchy's the second one.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like that one too.
Mm-hmm. But I thought this one was great. I still think the first one is the worst one. And saying that, it's not even bad. It's still like a
bad.
good one.
It's just like surface.
They've gotten better.
They barely scraped the surface of like what all this could be. So.
And they still have some, like, I think they could keep going with these.
Yeah, I love the position that they're in. Blumhouse, they got a good situation going for them.
I wonder if there's plans for any more. Is the Purge real 2021? Okay. Oh, okay. So in October 2018, James D. Monaco, the creator of the Purge franchise, says that he may write another film and that he thought it would be a really cool ending to the series, and that was in reference to this one. So then this might be the last one.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. I like your idea of bringing everybody back.
For one final Purge. Because then, so they had Purge, Purge Anarchy, Purge Election Year, the first Purge, the Forever Purge, the final Purge.
Yes. Yes.
James.
Yes. And it could be about like the resistance.
Yeah. Bring back the Presidente from the from the third
like
one.
they're leading the resistance.
Them and that one guy from Anarchy.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
And then the guy from this one, I think his name was Joaquin.
Yeah. Well, the guy from the first one that goes into their house, but then he's part of the resistance in the second one, and then the kids come back. Maybe the son is like a purger.
I definitely.
But then the sister is like.
No, see, I feel like the son would be part of the resistance, and Zoe married a pro-purger.
Oh.
But then she's like torn because she's like, he's my husband, but I can't agree with him anymore.
Wow.
And like, I can't sit by and let him be fueled by his hate. And she
Yeah.
tries to like help him out. First Purge people will probably be out because it was like first Purge. Like, I feel like that would be too long ago. But I mean, a needed film, but.
Mhm.
And then I want Adela and Juan.
Yes.
And what if then Dylan now? I feel like he would join up the resistance.
Oh, for sure.
Now that he has
to
like a
make the world
child.
better for his daughter.
Yeah.
Make
That
it
moment
happen.
in the gun cabinet was weird. The wife's anger like came out of nowhere kind of, and I was like, what?
She's like, this is our country.
Yeah, I was like, that seems random.
Is it though? Yeah, I think they were just trying to like show a perspective of like these are a certain type of white people, but it's like I'm not gonna like.
But you could tell, was like anti this, where I feel like he was leaning more towards the pro Purge.
I don't know. I think he was against the Purge.
Just
I
a
don't
racist.
know. Yeah, just racist. Which there are people that are like, oh well, I'm not part of the insurrectionist group of people,
But they're still racist.
but are still problematic. You know, like there are people who voted for Donald Trump, but then are like, well, I'm not those crazy people, but it's like you're still part of the problem.
Yes. Anyways, if you didn't know about this movie, if you listen to this whole episode, I mean, that's on you.
You probably have no clue what's going on.
But I definitely say go see it. I think it's definitely worth it. A worthy sequel and an interesting time. A fun time. A heavy time, so just know that. Like Katie said, it was a lot for a Monday at noon.
Yeah, I think it's I like how they come out around the 4th of July when there's all this, like, the 4th of July has been weird lately, and I haven't really been observing it as a holiday. I've worked the past 2 years on the 4th of July, and just, I mean, you were celebrating your future sister-in-law, like.
Yeah, and
who
I
gives a
slept
fuck?
through most of the actual day because I was tired.
Yeah. Go see this movie if you
Yeah,
haven't, and
it was good. And what are we doing next week?
I feel like it's a drunk Disney.
Is it Drunk Disney?
Don't know. We'll look, and I'll put it in the description. Or Michaela will pull it up. Cute. Okay, we don't have anything.
But you know what is exciting? Y'all, it'll be coming soon. The Kissing Booth 3 is officially coming into Netflix August 11th. So you already know your girlies are going to be covering that.
Mark your cows.
And the new After trailer for the third After movie, I think, is coming out this month as well. When they posted the little teaser, they were like, trailer coming July with like a million question marks. And I was like, how about you just say when the trailer's coming? Like, I don't have time to guess.
July? It's like, only you would know that.
Yeah.
So why the question?
Like, I'm ready for more fuckery. So anyways.
God damn it. All right.
We got some great content coming, guys. Lilas.